partner programs. That's SEPTA.org/partner programs.
Celebrating Black excellence worldwide and bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people. Write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Well, here we are. It's Hump Day, Wednesday, February the 21st, as a matter of fact. Woohoo! All right, we're halfway through the week, family. We're halfway through the week. I want to begin by continuing our Black History Month celebration moment. Today's Black History celebratory moment is about Nina Simone, the one and only, yes. So in 1933, on this date in Tryon, North Carolina, the sixth of 8 children was born. Eunice Kathleen Wayman was an American singer, songwriter, pianist, composer, arranger, and civil rights activist whose music spanned styles and genres, and whose stage presence would earn her the title of the High Priestess of Soul. She adopted the name Nina Simone as a stage name in order to remain undetected, knowing that her mother would not approve of her playing the devil's music, as she referred to it. Nina, derived from Nina, was a nickname given to her by a boyfriend named Chico, and Simone was taken from the French actress Simone Signoret. Her famous quote is, "I'll tell you what freedom is to me. No fear. I mean, really, no fear. It's an artist's duty to reflect the times in which we live. To me, we are the most beautiful creatures in the whole world." Family, that's today's Black History celebratory moment about none other than the late, great Nina Simone. I want to wish a happy birthday to all of our love bugs that are celebrating. That's right. Happy birthday to you. I tell you, every single day we should all be spoiled, absolutely rotten. And I say that because I mean it. Yes, I do. Family, if you're joining us by way of socials, share a comment to let us know, or you can even give us a call. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. You know, Nick and I will take the love any way you care to share it. That's right. That's right. Family, for those of you whose hearts are even just a little bit heavy today, or if your light is shining just a little dimly, I'm sending extra love and hugs your way. That's what I'm doing on behalf of your entire tribe and village. That's right. Because we want you to know that you are not alone. You are so not alone. Okay. We've got you. We have got you. And to that point, I'm extending our condolences to the family and loved ones of Hydea Broadbent, a prominent HIV and AIDS activist who died at the age of 39. Her father shared a Facebook post that included the quote, "Despite facing numerous challenges throughout her life, Hydea remained determined to spread hope and positivity through education around HIV and AIDS." So, to her family and loved ones, we send our love, sympathy, and prayers for comfort. Family, guess what? We've got a ticket giveaway for tonight. Yes, we do. We are giving away one pair of tickets. That's right. That's right. The People's Light Theater presents The Ripple, the Wave That Carried Me Home on Saturday, March 2nd at 7 p.m. A masterpiece from Tony nominee Christina Anderson. The Ripple, the Wave That Carried Me Home follows Janice after a surprise phone call forces her to confront the family legacy she left behind. Janice was raised by activists who fought to integrate swimming pools and taught the neighborhood children to swim. Now she must reckon with the complicated truth about her past. We are giving away a pair of tickets to the third caller who dials 215-634-8065. Keep in mind, though, family, that you cannot win if you've won a prize from us in the past 30 days. That is Ripple, the Wave That Carried Me Home on Saturday, March 2nd at 7 p.m., presented by the People's Light Theater. I don't know what's wrong with my mouth tonight. I don't know what's going on with me over here. And anyway, I've got some more things to share with you. Family, as I know, you already know that the month of February is a month of love. Well, Word has an exclusive new collection for this month only. Our I Love Word collection features a t-shirt, stemless wine glass, a hoodie, water bottle, coffee mug, and a tote bag. That's right. And guess what? If you are a member, then you can get these brand new items for 50% off in our Word shop. So join or renew now so you can get your discount code via email. Simply go to wordradio.com/I love Word. So you can start shopping now and show your love for your favorite radio station. That's wordradio.com/ILUVWURD. That's right. That's right. That's right. I've got a lot to share with you before we get into the crux of our show for tonight. So just hold tight. Hold tight. I do want to share that election season is heating up, and Word Radio is broadcasting live from Washington, D.C. on Monday, February 26th, all day long, starting at 7 a.m. on Wake Up with Word. Solomon Jones, our beloved Tanya Pendleton, and our beloved brother Shamari will be on location at the White House complex to hear directly from members of the Biden-Harris administration. They'll ask the tough questions, and they will get the answers you need to know before you cast your vote this year. It's the kickoff of Word on Democracy, our special coverage of state and national elections in 2024. Listen all day, Monday, February 26th, starting at 7 a.m. only on Word Radio, Progressive Black Talk Media. And one more thing, don't you leave me yet. As Philadelphia prepares to launch its reparations task force, the topic of economic justice is heating up here and around the country. On Monday, February 26th at 4 p.m., Word is hosting a special program titled What is Owed? Reparations Movements in the 21st Century. We will be talking to public officials, advocates, and activists from across the United States to understand this complex issue and start to take stock of what is actually owed to Black Americans after centuries of forced labor, disenfranchisement, and discrimination. This conversation, led by Evening Words host Dr. James Peterson, is the start of a series of talks that will be squarely focused on reparations and economic justice. So tune in on Monday, February 26th at 4 p.m. to hear what is owed, only right here on Word Radio, Progressive Black Talk Media. All right, family. I see that some of you are checking in. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to share that Brother Nasir Butler is checking in, and he's sending peace and blessings to the entire family. Thank you, Nasir. We're sending them right back to you. You know we are. And Eric is doing the same. He shares that he's blessed to be here another day. Well, you are not alone. You hear me, Eric? You are not alone. That's just Rick. Just Rick. And Malcolm, hey there, brother. Malcolm White, that is. He shares that he is watching and listening from West Mount Airy. Well, good evening to you too, good sir. And hey there, Jay. It's been a minute. Hey, Jay shares Nina Simone came to Arts High to speak to us in 1980 during my freshman year. What? She shares, I love her and her music. I love you too. I love you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And our beloved Walt Reeder Jr. is sharing, watching, and listening from Montgomery County to my favorite show. Hey, Walt. And Overseer Eugenia Turner shares shalom. Hi there, beautiful. Happy to have you join us. Family, let's get started. Our guest this evening, we have so much to talk about. Our guest this evening, he is no stranger to the show or to the family. He's already a family member. His name is David Levy Bey, and he's affectionately known as Brother Dave. He's a board-certified master herbalist and certified natural health professional who was trained and mentored for 7 years by Dr. Frank Wyatt, a great naturopathic doctor who developed a unique system of diagnosing illness that combines ancient healing techniques with cutting-edge technology. Family, I invite you to the conversation with Brother David Levy Bey. Hey there, Dave.
How you doing, Carol?
I won't complain. How about you?
I'm good. I'm happy. I woke up today. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day.
Hello. We're breathing on schedule. We'll take it, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I know that's
Be
right.
thankful for all things, right?
For all things,
You
all
know,
things. You hear me? You hear me? I won't complain. I'm over here
Absolutely
laughing
not.
at myself, tripping over my tongue, but I won't complain. So, Dave, I was sharing with the family. You are no stranger to the show. You're already a family member. You've been here and you've shared some things with us, have imparted some wisdom. Tonight, what will you talk about with us tonight? What will you share with us tonight?
So tonight I'm gonna talk about cell salts and cell salts, yes, in connection with the zodiac and how important these cell salts are to us in our health. You know what I'm saying? What cell salts are they like
Well, wait, Dave. I want before we get into the crux of everything, because we have some new family members that are joining us tonight too. Would you, if you don't mind, would you share with our new family members just a little about you, from where you come and all that good stuff?
Okay, so once again, I'm West Philadelphia born and raised. And I came into the knowledge of herbs over 20 years ago, due to an imbalance that I had that was diagnosed as an incurable liver disease. And I came into this knowledge through a doctor by the name of Dr. Frank Wyatt, a naturopathic doctor who's saved my life and, took me under his wing. And I learned under him for 7 years and traveled around the country with him, and also went to the same school that he went to, which is Trinity School of Natural Health, and became a board certified master herbalist. So, that's my story. Like I said, West Philadelphia born and raised, Overbrook High grad, so, yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Well, thank you for that. Like I said, we have some new family members, and I want everybody to be well versed with whom we are. With whom I'm speaking. So, what you said you're sharing with us tonight about cell salts. what are cell salts?
So cell salts are salts that satisfy mineral imbalances in the body, stimulating the body's natural healing process. When we lack these important cell salts, we are more vulnerable to common health concerns. And by replenishing them, you are better prepared to treat illness and enjoy better overall wellness. So cell salts are very, very important to us.
Okay.
And then, what we have to learn is that, you know, we all have inherent weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
And, just like the Greek mythology story of Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
Achilles was this demigod, this warrior that seemed like he could not be defeated. Yet his weakness was his Achilles heel, in which an arrow was shot into his heel, which
Right.
killed Achilles. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, from that mythology, the lesson there is that we all have inherent weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's important to know astrology, because once you understand astrology, you will understand that what your zodiac sign's inherent weakness is. Because in understanding that will also better help you to maintain your health. You know what I mean? So to give you an example, with myself, I'm a Sagittarius. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And Sagittarians are prone to liver imbalances because the um, zodiac sign of Sagittarius is ruled by the liver, the hips, the thighs. Okay, are all body parts that are ruled by Sagittarian. And so, in my own journey, my liver imbalance that led me into this knowledge, right? came as a result of that being an inherent weakness with me anyway. Being that I was Sagittarius. Sagittarians are prone to have liver imbalances,
Mm-hmm.
or also prone to develop imbalances like hepatitis and things like that.
I have a question for you. So
Sure.
you find that to be there's a lot of truth to that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely, because of the simple fact that I know from my own experience. You understand what I'm
Right, right,
saying?
right.
And the truth of the matter is that astrology is very important to medicine. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because there was a book written by an author by the name of H.L. Cornell. He wrote the book, The Encyclopedia of Medical Astrology. And so doctors should know and understand astrology, and a lot of them do, but they will not tell you that. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
to prove, here's the book. I'm there you go. Can
Oh
you see it?
wow. I sure can.
So it does.
We can.
I just want you to know that it does exist. You understand what I'm saying? And so knowing astrology is very important because we are prone to certain weaknesses in the bodies based on our astrological makeup. And a lot of my clients that I see and have consultations with, based on their astrological makeup, I can predetermine a lot of imbalances that they have, and they have come back and said, you're absolutely correct about this, and and
Wow.
and, and that's because it is the truth. You understand what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like I said, with myself, you know what I'm saying, with Sagittarius.
sure.
Sagittarians are known to have, issues with the liver. You know what I mean? That's a Sagittarian trait. They're also known to have issues with the hips and the thighs. So, later in years, they could have, serious problems with sciatica,
Mm.
hip pain, thigh pain. You know what I'm saying? It's a trait of ours. You understand what I'm saying? So, like,
So
go ahead. I'm sorry. Good.
I'm
Good.
sorry. So I'm
Mhm,
digesting this as you're
mhm,
sharing it with us. So
mhm,
when you say this, so having this knowledge, are there
mhm.
things that we can do as I don't know, preventive measures if it sounds like these ailments might be predetermined or predestined according to astrology?
Well, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And that's because, when you learn your body, what they say, better, you do better, right?
Better, right?
So
That's
when
what we
you
say.
learn and know what your inherent weaknesses are, you learn to strengthen those areas.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? By
Mm-hmm.
doing things that help those particular parts of the body that are connected with you, and making sure that you eat the right foods and stay away from the wrong foods for your particular makeup, and just learning how to do things like getting proper rest, what you're prone to have issues with, how the time of the year could affect you. All knowing all this stuff helps to prepare you to be better prepared to take control of your health. You
Sure.
understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And being, a naturopathic doctor, master herbalist, it's all about teaching you how to take care of yourself, empowering you. You know what I'm saying? Instead of taking the power away from you. You know what I'm saying? It's about empowering you. And so, knowing this stuff is very, very, very important. You know what I'm saying? Had I known some of these things when I was younger, looking back and even with my family, it's things that maybe I could have helped them with the knowledge I have today that I didn't have back then.
Sure.
As a prime example, I would say, but
Well, wait, you know what? I'm
Sure.
so engrossed in this conversation that I'm not looking at the time. Finally,
Okay.
hi there. Hi there. Hello to you. If you've just joined us, welcome. You're tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Brother David Levy Bey. We're beginning the conversation about cell salts and astrology. But it's time for us to take a commercial break. So we're going to do just that. But know that the phone lines are still open, and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. Stay with us because we're coming right back.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here.
I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy. You know what? We should make an emergency communication plan. That way we're ready this year. At my dorm, we have emergency kits for earthquakes and wildfires, but I'm sure there's something more local I can send you with a link.
Okay, smart.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Tune in Monday, February 26th at 4 p.m. for an in-depth look at reparations and economic justice on a special edition of Evening Words. What is owed? Reparations Movements of the 21st Century examines modern-day efforts to seek atonement, repair, and redress. We will speak to public officials, advocates, and activists from around the country to understand this complex issue, just as Philadelphia prepares to launch its own task force. This conversation is the start of a series that will be laser focused on reparations and economic justice. Join Dr. James Peterson at 4 p.m. on Monday, February 26th to hear What is Owed, only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
85 years ago, Independence Blue Cross was founded to provide peace of mind when accessing healthcare. Our first members were employees of Independence Hall. We started where our country started. I'm Greg Devins, CEO of Independence, thanking you for making us the leading health insurer in the region and the only health plan you need to know. Our promise for the last 85 years and the next 85 is to deliver the quality healthcare coverage you and your families deserve.
Hey, everything okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Honey. Hey, I'm here for you. Tell me about school today.
When kids can't find the right words, music can help them sound it out. Talk to the kids in your life about their emotional well-being. Find tools and resources at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
WURD is happy to provide our listeners with the opportunity to participate in contests and win prizes. This is a reminder of our contest rules. All participants must be 18 years of age or older, depending on the contest. Persons may win only one prize from the radio station per contest for every 30-day period. Some contests might also specify one winner per household or company. Prizes must be claimed within 14 days or by 12 noon the day before the event, whichever is sooner, and must be accepted as is or forfeited. The radio station employees and their immediate relatives, sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, live remote sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, and any other media employees are ineligible to win the prize. Thank you for participating and for listening to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Long nose, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
And we are back. Welcome back, family. You're tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. I do want to share that Pamela Bottoms Cooper shares, hey, cuz. Hey there to you. We appreciate the love. Lasagna Thompson is joining us. She sends a good evening to everyone. And Warren Art Master Burns shares a good evening as well. Thank you, good soul, for joining us. We are talking with Brother David Levy Bey. Before the commercial break, we began the conversation about cell salts. Now, you introduced this whole conversation to me. I had not heard of a cell salt prior to talking with you. I said, now what now? What is it? So Dave was sharing with us before the commercial break what a cell salt is. So I'm curious to, you said you were beginning the conversation about cell salts and the tie to astrology.
Right, right. Because every astrological sign is connected to a cell salt. And what you have to understand is that we come into this earth already deficient of 3 cell salts because you have 12 months in a year, but you come into this earth in 9 months. You understand what I'm saying? So you already have an inherent weakness of missing 3 cell salts that you would have gotten in the womb if you were in the womb for 12 months, but you're only in the womb for 9 months. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
So knowing that these cell salts that you're deficient in can be beneficial to maintaining your health, because the deficiencies in some of these cell salts are a lot of the reasons why some people have different imbalances that they're not understanding why. You understand what I mean?
Gotcha.
But going to the signs, as I pointed out with me, Sagittarians are prone to weak livers. To give you an example, and I'm gonna try to go over, all the signs in the body parts that are connected to these signs. But just to, give you some insight, like my father, right, who passed away from cancer. His astrological sign was Cancer.
Okay.
And cancer is ruled by the breast and the stomach. Okay. And so the cancer that he developed occurred in those locations. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Now, my dad did smoke cigarettes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I'm saying about understanding your body systems in relationship to the things that you are doing that could cause those inherent weaknesses to become a problem. Well, cigarette smoking continuously for years, most people develop issues like COPD, lung cancer, cancer of the stomach as a result of years of smoking. But if that is already an inherent weakness with the astrological sign of Cancer, well, with proper education, you would know, I can't do that.
Right,
You
right,
know what
right.
I'm
Because it's going
saying?
to aggravate some. Right, right,
Right,
right.
because it's
I,
going to cause issues. You understand what I'm
sure,
saying?
sure, sure.
My dad was in pretty good shape. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He was a master plumber and a very hard worker. So he was in excellent shape into the appearance of the eye.
I got you.
But over the years of smoking, you understand what I'm saying? He developed this imbalance, okay? But he was prone to develop this type of imbalance because of his astrological
Logical.
makeup.
I got you. Wait, we have
Yes, sir.
one of our family members is calling to join the
Yes.
conversation. If you don't mind, I'm sorry to have
Sure.
interjected.
Sure.
Thank you so much for calling. I believe it's Tanya on line 1. Hi, Tanya. Thank you for
Okay.
calling and welcome to the conversation.
Hi, Carol. I listen to you every day you're on, and you have some very good guests.
Thank you.
Gentleman, I remember seeing him one other time. I think you had him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unable to get on Facebook, but I watch you on Twitch.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and he held up a book. Well, first, I wanted to say to him, I'm a Sagittarius. And when he said people have problems with, he named something. And when he said the thigh, as I've gotten older, I'm 67 now. When I first get up in the morning, I have problems with my thigh.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, wow, I've never met him before. He's saying this and he's talking about me. And also he held up a book, and I want the name of the book. I think it was Encyclopedians or something. It was a large book he held up.
It's called the Encyclopedia of Medical Astrology. The author name is H.L. Cornell.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but it's a book that it's known in medical school. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of this information is not really given to the general public. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But understanding this stuff is very important. You know what I mean? And understanding the connection to the body parts is very important to your astrological makeup. When you think about. Oh, were you going to say something?
Well, no, I was going to ask with the information that she did supply. Is there
Mm-hmm.
anything that she could do?
Yeah, absolutely. See, one of the cell salts of being a Sagittarian that we tend to be deficient in is silica. Silica is the cell salt that rules the astrological sign of Sagittarian, and silica is very, very good for strengthening the bones and giving you strong fingernails and good skin and helps with the joints. And so, a lot of us are deficient in silica, a lot of Sagittarians, you know what I mean? So silica is something that's very good, you know what I mean? But, just to say to her, overall, a consultation would be great because then we could see everything that's going on. And then I would be able to, recommend some herbs to help deal with the situations. But knowing that is an inherent weakness of Sagittarians, problems with the thighs, problems with the hips. A lot of Sagittarians suffer with sciatica and problems with liver. You know what I mean? That is a Sagittarian trait. You know what I mean? So, just to let you know. When we talk about astrology and the cell salts and the astrological makeups, we want to start with Aries. You know what I mean? Because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about it, Aries is ruled by the head. Okay. And you think about, how do you come into this world? You come into this world head first through the womb. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, wait, Dave, I want to make sure that Tanya, because I know she's still here. So Tanya, I want to make sure that the question that I asked was helpful as well, and to find out if you had another question, or if you had a question or something else you wanted to add.
I would like for him to repeat his contact information in the name of the book again, and I'll hang up.
Oh, no, it's no problem.
Okay. All right. So the name of the book is the Encyclopedia of Medical Astrology. The author is H.L. Cornell. and it's the author, H.L. Cornell. Okay. You can reach me at 856-209-4379, or you can contact me by email, and that would be dlevy, Leavy 83 at gmail.com. Did you get that? Is she still there?
You know what? I believe Tanya has left the conversation, but I'm going to make
Okay.
sure I put it in the chat as well.
Okay.
And I will make sure that it is displayed across the screen for those of our family members that are watching. And
Gotcha.
we'll repeat it later as
Okay.
well, so that everybody can get the information. Go right
Yeah.
ahead. I'm sorry. So you were starting with Aries. You were starting with the
Right.
chart. And you said
Right. Because Aries, okay, is ruled by the head. Okay, that astrological sign is ruled by the head. And when you think about how you come into this world, you come into the world head first through the womb. Okay, so Aries, people that are of this astrological sign, okay, they tend to have issues with the subrenal glands. And what the subrenal glands are they're the glands that are below the kidneys. Okay. So when we talk about the glands that are below the kidneys, we're talking about, in females, we're talking about the ovaries. And in males, we're talking about the testes. So Aries, a lot of times, will have problems in those areas. Something going on with women with their ovaries, with men, a lot of times something going on with their testicles. And also Aries being ruled by the head, they have a tendency to have problems with sinus congestion, problems with migraine headaches. Aries just have issues a lot of times with their head and acne. Breaking out in the face a lot. Those are Aryan traits. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness. One of my cousins. That's one of my cousins. You're talking about one of my cousins right now.
She's an Aries.
She is.
And she has problems.
She does.
I know what I'm talking about. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
didn't doubt you.
No, I'm just playing. But the cell salt that is connected to Aries is ferrium phosphate. And some of the foods that you could get ferrium phosphate from are foods like tomatoes, beans, foods like brown rice, lentils, walnuts, olives, onions, cauliflower, cucumbers, spinach, broccoli, figs, bananas, pumpkin seeds, and uncooked, dried out apricots are all good in this cell salt. You know what I mean? All good in potassium phosphate. But that is the cell salt that's connected to Aries. You know what I mean? But yeah, those are some of the problems that Aries have. Okay. Now Taurus, which is the second sign of the zodiac, well, Taurus deals with, first of all, Aries is a fire sign too. Okay. And fire signs, they are good at being able to cleanse their body of toxins and viruses and bacterias and funguses. Like fire signs fight off those type of illnesses very well. You know what I mean? Like me, the Sagittarian, also a fire sign. But like we have a tendency to burn up that stuff. You know what I mean? So that's very good. Now Taurus is an earth sign. Okay. And Taurus is actually ruled by the throat and the neck. And so the vocal cords and tonsils, and also the palate. But Tauruses have a lot of times issues going on in those areas, throat, neck. Sometimes they'll have problems with the thyroid, which is located in the neck area. So that's like a trait with Tauruses. The sign is cell salt is connected to sodium sulfate, and sodium sulfate is a cell salt that you can get by eating things like asparagus, things like beets, cauliflower, horseradish, spinach, cucumbers, onions, also pumpkin seeds, walnuts, and cranberries, all high in this particular cell salt, all high in sodium sulfate. But you know, a lot of times with tauruses, they have a tendency to have problems with like swollen glands and in the throat area, laryngitis problems. You know what I'm saying? And problems with stiff necks and stuff like that, because that's the part of the body that they're ruled by. Okay.
Okay.
And for anybody that's listening tonight, I know this is a lot of information, but keep in mind that Carol's show you can watch again. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm giving a lot of information. You understand what I'm saying? And so, and me and her have had conversations before. I could go all day, but I know that we have limited time. But so I'm going to try to do the best I can in the amount of time that we have. But like I said, if you didn't get something, you missed something, it's always a rebroadcast.
You sure can
watch it again. Okay?
You sure can't wait. So on that note, it's time to take another commercial break. Family, we get a breather. You can gather your information, but don't stray too far. Okay, stay with us because we're coming right back.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month with Stephanie Humphrey is brought to you by Comcast.
We all love the convenience of online shopping, but don't blow your budget by falling for these online tricks. Pay attention to things that might get automatically added to your cart by default, like insurance on concert tickets or travel. Don't fall for the sense of urgency some sites create with countdown clocks or inventory trackers claiming that time is running out to buy. And don't be pressured into buying more than you need just to get the free shipping. If the additional items in your cart are more than the shipping cost, was it really free? Take advantage of how easy online shopping can be, but don't let it take advantage of you. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
I need some extra money. Do I qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit?
Use the EITC Assistant tool. With just a little information, this tool helps you calculate eligibility with ease and accuracy. Get an estimate of how much credit you qualify for, and get a printout of your results before you prepare your return or visit your tax preparer. To use the EITC Assistant tool and see if you're eligible to claim a credit, visit irs.gov/EITC.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black talk media, WURD.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black talk media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Brother David Levy Bey. And in this moment, he is sharing with us about the individual signs. We're talking about astrology and cell salts. And I'm making it all one thing. Look at that. They're two separate things. But they do work hand in hand, as he did share with us. Connected. So we left with Taurus. Malcolm says, "What about Capricorn?" He said, "What about Capricorn?"
We're gonna get there.
Look. Everybody's like, "Wait, we only have 2 hours. We got to get to it. We got to get to it."
I'm gonna try to pick it up a little bit. You know what I mean? But so Gemini is an air sign. Okay, that's the next sign in the zodiac, and of course, air signs are ruled by the circulatory system and the nervous system, and a lot of times with air signs, they are like extremely sensitive minds, and they can get easily thrown off balance and overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? So that's true for all air signs, like Libras and Aquarius. They definitely can get thrown off. You know what I'm saying? They can get overwhelmed because they in the head too much. But Gemini. The cell salt connected to Gemini is potassium chloride, okay? And what that does is that helps to build fibrin in the blood and organs and the tissues of the body. And Gemini is ruled by the shoulders, the arms, and the lungs, okay, and the hands. Okay, those are the body parts that is ruled by Geminis. And the thing with Geminis, as far as potassium chloride, the foods that you can eat when you have issues going on in those areas, like the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the lungs, and the nervous system. The things that you can eat as far as potassium chloride is concerned is things like asparagus and green beans, tomatoes, celery, carrots, spinach, oranges, peaches, plums, apricots, wild rice. All of those are very good foods with helping with deficiency in potassium chloride. And also, Gemini, to help deal with their nervous system, it's good for them to eat things like grapefruit, almonds, boiled fish and shellfish, grape juice, apples and raisins, lettuce and cauliflower. Because that's all good for helping with the nervous system, and also with lettuce and cauliflower, it helps to strengthen the lungs because Geminis also are known to develop bronchitis a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna try to keep it going. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm trying not to get too deep into it because we got a lot to go over. But I'm trying to give as much information as I can in the time that we have. So Cancer, which I was just talking about earlier, which is a water sign. Cancer is water signs. Period. Are ruled by like the reproductive lymphatic systems. They have a tendency to have issues with mucus and lymphatic congestion, and water signs are also particularly susceptible to develop funguses and bacteria and viruses. So water signs have to be very, very, very careful. Okay, because they're prone to those things. The cell salt connected with Cancer is calcium fluoride. And I told you Cancer is ruled by the breast and the stomach. As I was having a conversation earlier about my father, developing, cancer in those areas. That's those are inherent weaknesses of the Cancerian trait. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're known to have issues of the breast or issues of the stomach. You know what I'm saying? So they got to be very mindful about those areas. Okay.
Okay.
The thing about it, as far as with the cell salt, calcium fluoride, some of the foods that cancers should eat would be things like milk and cheese, which I would say not necessarily dairy milk and cheese because we don't digest that stuff very well because of lactose intolerance. I would go to say like a plant-based milk and cheese, preferably something like almond milk or oat milk or something like that, because you don't really want to consume too much soy because women have been known to develop lumps in their breasts from drinking too much soy, so you don't want to do that. But you want to do a milk that's plant-based, that's going to give you the calcium that you need, as far as the calcium fluoride that you need. Also, lettuce and tomatoes, also good and high in calcium fluoride. Okra is very good and high in calcium fluoride. Let's see, things like fresh fruits and fresh vegetables and are very good. So those things, I would say to eat because it can definitely help. Because one thing too, a deficiency in calcium fluoride, people will have problems with varicose veins developing. Also, problems with receding gums as a result of being deficient in calcium fluoride. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one because we're doing rapid fire.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so let's talk about Leo. Leo is a fire sign. Leo is a sign that's ruled by the sun, and Leo is a sign that is ruled by the spine and the back and the heart. So Leos have a tendency to have spinal issues. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of times when I have Leo clients and I do, my eye analysis, a lot of times I see a lot of back issues going on with Leo.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? It's
Oh
just a trait.
wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Okay.
you get and you can actually see it in the eye. You know what I mean? The area of the eye where the back is located, and you can definitely see a lot of issues going on. So they have a tendency to have problems with their backs and also their hearts too, because sometimes Leos can be very impatient, and impatience is the emotion that weakens the heart. So Leos, especially as they get older, can have a tendency to have issues with their hearts. So you gotta be very careful. Okay.
Okay.
The cells are connected with Leo is magnesium phosphate. Now, magnesium phosphate is a mineral that's known as what we call the relaxer. It's the relaxer mineral. It helps to relax the muscles in the body. And the heart is a muscle. You understand what I'm saying? And the heart is actually, it actually needs magnesium, calcium, and things like vitamin D to function properly. You understand what I'm saying? And when you think about like this month being what we call Heart Month, right? A lot of times people have a lot of challenges in the month of February because what we have to understand is we are people of the sun, and our body is affected by the decline of the sun, and because the sun gives you calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D automatically, and so when we have less daylight hours and we're deficient, what happens is those deficiencies in vitamin D, magnesium, and calcium tends to lead to heart issues. So that by the time we reach the month of February, we're dealing with anxiety, heart palpitations, trying to figure out what's going on while my heart feels crazy. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm gonna tell you that we been kind of fortunate this year because we've been having a lot of nice sunny days recently, and not a whole lot of snow. So it hasn't probably been too much of a problem for some people. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But it is known that during this time of the year, one of the reasons why they want you to get your heart checked is because they already know your body's deficient in all these minerals. The heart's bound to be acting up some kind of way. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So we have to really learn and understand that. You know what I mean? And going back to Leo, some of the things that Leos can do to get things like magnesium phosphate is to eat things like wheat and rye products, almonds, walnuts, sunflowers, figs, things like lemons and apples, coconut, peaches, seafood, beets, asparagus, egg yolks. These things definitely help the Leo with getting enough magnesium phosphate in the body, because it's very important for them. You know what I'm saying? So eating those things are very good, and then eating foods that are rich in iron is also good for Leos. Things like spinach, raisins, dates, things like plums, oranges. Yes, can also help, and it also helps to reduce the strain on the heart. You know what I'm saying? So eating those foods are very good. So going to the next zodiac sign, which we talked about, the sign of Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. Okay. And Virgos.
Well, wait. You know what? Before we get into Virgos, here I go.
Commercial break.
Yes, we do. Family. I know. Family, listen. For those of you who have just joined us, welcome. You're tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Brother David Levy Bey, and we are talking about cell salts. We're talking about astrology. We're talking about health and wellness overall. That's what we are. We're talking about a lot of things, family. But it's time for us to take just a short commercial break. I do want to share. Malcolm says, "What about Capricorn?" And we're coming. We're getting to you when we come back from this commercial break. We're getting to you. And hi, beloved. I see that Miss Rosalind has joined us as well. And Pamela Bottoms Cooper shares Leo. Yes, that is so true for me about the back. Isn't that something? Family, if we did not get to you yet, guess what? It's coming when we come back from this commercial break. We're coming to Virgo when we come back. So stay with us because we're coming right back.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed this week on Love and Life.
So, Uncle Junior, you were telling us of the day of when you met. Would you mind telling us that story?
This was back in 1966. I arrived early, and I was sitting there when Mel and two of her friends walked in. She looked at me, and she smiled, and to the day, she don't know why she smiled at me. And then she came walking across the floor towards me, and I was hooked. She was stepping. And her father came in, and I could see the resemblance. So I asked him, "Do you mind if I dance with your sister?" He said, "That's not my sister. That's my daughter. Don't ask me, ask her." So I did, and we danced. And she told me, she said, "If you hold me a little closer, I can follow you better." And I was hooked already. And I asked her for her phone number. And when I went home, I wrote her a letter telling her I was going to marry her.
And that's your hottest 60 seconds this week from Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
In honor of Black History Month, WURD, in collaboration with First World Theater, presents Diamonds of the Diaspora, Black political figures and influencers in their own words. Marcus Garvey was a Jamaican-born political activist who founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association with the goal of uniting all of African diaspora to establish a country and absolute government of their own. Garvey's philosophies grew in the U.S., which caught the attention of the FBI. In 1919, the FBI hired their first Black agent and assigned him to infiltrate Garvey's camp and spy on him. In this speech presented in New York City on November 25, 1922, Marcus Garvey explains the objectives of the Universal Negro Improvement Association.
Over 5 years ago, the United Negro Improvement Association placed itself before the world as the movement through which the new and rising Negro would give expression of his feelings. This association adopts an attitude not of hostility to other races and peoples of the world, but an attitude of self-respect, of manhood rights on behalf of 400 million Negroes of the world. We represent peace, harmony, love, human sympathy, human rights, and human justice. And that is why we fight so much. Wheresoever human rights are denied to any group, wheresoever justice is denied to any group, there the UNIA finds a cause.
That's a speech by Marcus Garvey, performed by Cash Goins of First World Theater. This Black History Month, we recognize the work and influence of Marcus Garvey. This Black History Month vignette is brought to you by the Tucker Law Group, the Pennsylvania Lottery, the Philadelphia Water Department, and Independence Blue Cross.
How much for the bouquet of flowers?
They are $6.99. Great choice.
Thanks.
For someone special?
Something like that.
Well, if you really want to make a good impression, why not throw in some lottery tickets? Add some scratch-offs to the bouquet.
Okay.
Sure. You give your loved one a chance to win money. If they win, they might even share it with you.
Never even thought of that. You know what? Let me get a few of those scratch-offs for the bouquet.
Smart man. Happy Valentine's Day to you. Keep on scratching.
Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Problem gambling? Helpline 1-800-GAMBLER.
Election season is heating up and Word Radio is broadcasting live from the White House complex Monday, February 26th from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Solomon Jones, Tanya Pendleton, and Brother Shamari will be on location in Washington, D.C. to talk directly with the members of the Biden-Harris administration. They'll ask the tough questions and get the answers you need to know as you prepare to cast your vote this year. It's the kickoff of Word on Democracy, our special coverage of state and national elections in 2024. Listen all day Monday, February 26th, starting at 7 a.m. only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We are the home of Progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. We are talking with Brother David Levy Bey tonight, and he is sharing with us about cell salts, astrology, and so much more. So before the commercial break, where did we leave off? You were about to tell us about Virgos.
Yeah, absolutely. And Virgo's an earth sign. And Virgos are ruled by the nervous system and the intestines. Virgos have a lot of problems with the intestines. You know what I mean? They have a lot of issues with constipation, problems with the stomach area, but definitely Virgos have a lot of intestinal issues. Okay. Virgo, the cell salt connected to Virgo is potassium sulfate. And what that does, it helps regulate the oil in the body and carries oxygen to the cells. And it's essential to muscle contraction. And so when they're trying to move their bowels, they need these certain cell salts to help ease that issue. You know what I'm saying? Another problem with Virgos when they're deficient in potassium sulfate is they'll have problems with acne and because when they're deficient in potassium sulfate, their pores get clogged.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So potassium sulfate helps to keep their skin pores from getting clogged up. And I can tell you firsthand about it because my youngest son's a Virgo, and he had those problems. You know what I'm saying? So I had to teach him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so, yeah, he doesn't, have the issues now because he knows what to do. His skin is clear and everything. But sometimes he used to get depressed about certain stuff. Like one time he was a little upset because he said, "I can't eat soy because I break out." I said, "Man, that's a good thing." I said. In this life, you have to be a scientist. If you eat something and you know it don't work for you, then you guess what? To leave that alone. That's something you just learned in life. Don't look at it as a bad thing. That's a good thing. You know not to eat it. You know what I'm saying? So if you know soy breaks you out,
then you stay away from it.
And you stay away from it.
That's what you do. What I mean? Listen, I want to go
Yeah.
to our phone lines for a moment before we move further. Ron, hi there, Ron. Ron is calling in. Thank you for calling. And thank you for your patience.
Yes. Hey, Dave, how you doing? I'm glad to be a part of the Love and Life family. In particular, Life with Love added on as an addition. You remember me when Dr. Wyatt was there? We was out in West Philadelphia.
I remember you, Ron. Listen.
Let me finish the sentence.
Okay.
When I did the show out there, I put so much energy up in there until the ladies broke out into a cold sweat. And not only that, I wanted to say something. I am very fortunate. I'm not bragging to have good genes. Everything that I have my tests done with my beautiful primary doctor. I don't have prostate. All the other parts of my organs are working pretty good. My system valves work very good. My heart is certainly is on time. So I just happen to be one of the fortunate ones to be that. But the most important thing about healthcare, and I mentioned on Carol's show here at Love and Life about the almonds. And when I was a young man, much younger, I'm 80 now, the lady taught me about the almonds and the water. And I do a lot of fasting. First of all, when it comes to good diet, out of all the herbs, like the lily of the valley, all the and the lily of the valley, but the most important thing is about your attitude. And your attitude plays a very big part about your health. I recommend to all men and all women to take a little time out. Do not give negativity no life. No life that have nothing to nurture on. So I thank God for him teaching you very well. And remember, I wanted to say one other thing. When I was at the event the other night with Cal and them out there, this person asked to speak with me. They into real estate. And they knew Dr. White, and of course I'm quite sure they knew you. They were sharing things with me. And I'm just so happy that my cup running over. I'm so appreciative. My blessing have really been. It's really not a cliche. It is a fact. People that love people, they are the luckiest people. And when you give love, it's 360. It come right back to you. So I'm glad that you're on, and I'm glad that Dr. Wyatt, you here to be where you're at today. And we continue. Because what we are faced with today, the medical centers are not set up. So I'm glad to be on tonight. And the future looks very bright for Ron. What do I mean by that? The Almighty God has given me things, and I have an obligation and a responsibility to give back. Because I don't come, and I want to say this if you're listening, Mr. And I'm not a program interrupter. And I got sort of excited because when I was on the program, I used my resources because they asked us to support the business that's there with finances, and all that. And I know that I follow the Robert Rules of Order, and I thought it extended to me, not as a privileged character, to say something to the people. We can't be so professional. I don't have to be on air to do that. You send that to your people that comes there to support, not because of my money. Somebody else may not have money. To me, it was a terrible oversight that we didn't close out with someone that had come there could have said something about the station. We can't get serious until rigor mortis has set in. That's my comment. May you continue to be blessed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you so much, as always. Always. Okay, family, for those of you who have just tuned in, welcome. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We have another family member. Rick is calling in from Germany on line 2. Hi there, Rick, and welcome to the conversation.
Hi, good evening, Miss Carol, and good evening to your guest.
Good evening.
Your name is reminding me of a brother Bey from down in Washington who has passed, but he was a health advocate. I believe he was more vegan. But you're reminding me of him because you're touching on the astrology aspect.
Right.
I would ask you about meat. Meat production there in America is atrocious.
Absolutely.
Especially for the poor. They're served mass-produced meat that is rotting before it goes to the slaughterhouse. Where do you buy your meat? What meats do you recommend?
That's a good question.
So the thing is that what I tell clients, like, being vegetarian is very good, and vegan is very good. It's very good diet. But I have found in my years that there are some clients that do require meat, and when I find clients that do require meat in their diet, I recommend for them to go to the places where they know that that meat is being produced the best, and that might be to go straight to a farm. Because I had a client that that was an old blood type, and he went vegetarian. He used to be a former boxer. He went vegetarian. He started gaining all this weight, and what I found is that he needed red meat in his diet, and once he started putting red meat back into his diet, his weight came back down. Because with old blood types, red meat, what it does is it stimulates the thyroid, so it speeds up metabolism. You see what I'm saying? Me, myself, being a blood type, and red meat is not good for me. It causes digestive issues. So I stay away from it. But with this particular brother, once he realized that he needed to go back to putting red meat in his diet, he went to some farms out in Maryland, close to West Virginia, because he has in-laws in West Virginia. So when he would go to West Virginia to see his in-law, he would stop at the farms and he would get the red meat, or get the meat from there, which he watched the whole process being done right before his eyes. So he knew where the meat was coming from. They were raised properly. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't fed cornmeal, which is being fed to cows in mass production. That's why they develop so many diseases, because they're being fed a diet that is not their natural diet. So you do have to be careful about where, if you do eat meat, where you're getting it from. So the brother is absolutely correct in saying
that. I would say in closing, you mentioned blood type. Is it a good thing to know your blood type?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, it's good to know your blood type, because your blood type will tell you a whole lot about yourself. Because you see, even the mistakes that some vegetarians make is that they think just because they're only eating fruits and vegetables that they're eating healthy. And sometimes, depending on what your blood type is, you could be eating a fruit or a vegetable that is not good for your blood type. And so therefore it can have a negative effect on you instead of a positive effect. As with me speaking with the brother that was a former boxer, he was gaining weight. He couldn't understand why he was putting on so much weight, but he wasn't eating meat. And that's because he was eating vegetables and fruits that, slowed down his thyroid metabolism. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be. So it's a when you're in this field as long as I have, you understand that there is no general rule across the board for any one person. Everybody is different, and you got to know what's right for that particular person. That was the whole understanding of Dr. Frank Wyatt, my mentor, and which is why he developed what he called the body blueprint. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what's going on with that individual. So I look at every individual that comes to me, I look at them differently. I see what's going on with them. You understand what I'm saying? So, and whatever I, recommend is usually based on what I found that works for their body. So yeah. So, but the brother is spot on though.
Thank you, Rick.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you calling all the way from Germany too. That shows you how far people listen. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you, Carol. What? No, I'm sorry.
No, go right ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, I have clients all over the country and outside the country. You know what I'm saying? And people say, well, do you have a website? No, I don't need it. God sends me who he needs to send to me. You know what I mean?
I'm in agreement with that. But this what I don't want to have happen is we are at the end of the show and we haven't gone through the remainder of the zodiac.
Yes, let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So to finish up with Virgos real quick, some of the foods that Virgos can eat for potassium sulfate are things like bananas, lemons, lean beef, lamb, almonds, cheeses, oranges, oats, wheat germ. These things are very good for Virgos, and Things that Virgos should definitely stay away from is chocolate, because chocolate don't agree with Virgos. You know what I'm saying? Breaks them out. So they just kind of stay away from those things. Let's go to Libra. Okay, so Libra, which is the air sign, Libra is ruled by the kidneys and the lumbar region. So we're talking about the lower back area. You know what I'm saying? Also, the buttocks area is ruled by the Libra. So Libras have a tendency to have issues in those areas: kidney issues, lower back problems. Issues with their buttocks. And a lot of times, when Libras really feel that is when they've overworked themselves. The tendency of weaknesses in the lower back starts to come on as a general rule of being overworked. The cell salt connected with Libra is sodium phosphate. Okay, and sodium phosphate, that's good for the kidneys, and good for the throat and hair and veins, and also lower back. And the foods that you could get sodium phosphate from is things like poultry, seafood, broiled fish, salad greens, whole grain breads. They got to drink plenty of water, yogurt, low-fat cheeses, oatmeal, brown rice, radishes, beets, spinach, carrots, corn. Those things are good. Apples. Those things, those foods that I just named are all high in sodium phosphate, and it's good for Virgos. And they need to stay away from a bunch of rich food, though. And too many carbonated drinks, because those things are bad for their kidneys. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's go to the next sign, which is Scorpio, which is a water sign. Scorpio, once again, with water signs are ruled by the reproductive system, lymphatic system. The water signs got to be careful with excessive mucus building up in the body. And once again, like I said, water signs are susceptible to funguses, bacterias, viruses. So they have to be very careful with their health. Scorpio is ruled by the sex organs. So Scorpios have a tendency to have issues in that area. You know what I'm saying? And, one of my clients was having an issue, him and his wife, with trying to have children.
Okay.
And one of the things that I found out in checking was the fact that they had issue. Well, the wife didn't really have any issue, but the male client, the husband, had low sperm count. And the thing is that that's a Virgo trait. So what I had to explain is that, it's not that.
Virgo? As a Virgo trait?
Excuse me, Scorpio. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm glad you corrected me. I'm sorry.
No problem.
It's a Scorpion trait. So,
Okay.
so the thing is that, when you know better, you do better. So, I recommended things that they could do to help build that area up. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, the one thing about coming to someone like myself, we're not going to focus on the problem. We're going to focus on the solution. Okay? That's something that happens, but that's not something that you have to be a slave to for the rest of your life. There are things that you can do. Once you know better, you do better. So I enlightened them on the things that can be done to help with the body system in that area. You know what I'm saying? And the cell salt that's ruled by Scorpio is calcium sulfate. You know what I'm saying? And calcium sulfate, it definitely helps with avoiding problems with skin eruptions, urinary tract problems, venereal infections. It helps, to help avoid those situations. The foods that are high in calcium sulfate are things like asparagus, cauliflower, radishes, onions, tomatoes, figs, black cherries, coconuts. You know what I'm saying? Yogurt, cottage cheese. Like these are things that are high in that particular salt. Also, things like fish and seafood, green salads, beets, lentils, almonds, walnuts, citrus fruits, apples, bananas, and pineapples. All good for that are very high in calcium sulfate.
Okay.
And we need.
Well, let me ask you this: any particular type of fish? Just fish?
So when we talk about blood type, you
Mhm.
want to eat fish that is particularly good for your blood type. You understand
Gotcha.
what I'm saying?
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
so learning your blood type is also important as well. You know what I'm saying? So because there's some fish that are good for certain blood types and bad for other blood types. So you need to know the types of fish that are good for your blood type. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing about the calcium is so very important to us, and the lack of it causes so many problems. There was a doctor by the name of Dr. Carey Reams who wrote the book Choose Life or Death.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is, folks.
Oh, wow.
Dr. Carey Reams wrote the book Choose Life or Death. He said the number one cause of divorce is calcium deficiency. He said because a woman needs 7 times more calcium than a man. And so therefore, when she's deficient in calcium, she goes through all kind of hormonal imbalance, having problems with her menstrual cycle, becomes very irritable, hard to get along with, easily to cry, very emotional because of this deficiencies in calcium. And then they said if the husband doesn't understand these things, then he's probably walk into a situation like, what the heck is going on with you? Why are you acting like this? You know what I'm saying? But men can also become calcium deficient.
Wait,
Okay?
I was just about to ask.
Yes.
But before you respond to that, family, it's time for us to take a commercial break. Know that phone lines are still open and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. When we come back, Dave is going to continue this conversation. He's going to talk with us about calcium deficiencies in men and what that looks like as well. And we're going to finish the zodiac. We're going to finish going through the zodiac. Stay with us, though, because we will be right back.
How deep is your love? How deep is your love?
February is a month of love, and Word has an exclusive new collection for this month only. Our I Love Word line features a t-shirt, stemless wine glass, hoodie, water bottle, coffee mug, and a tote bag. And guess what? If you're a member, then you can get those brand new items for 50% off in our Word shop. Join or renew to get your discount code via email. Go to wordradio.com/ILoveWord to start shopping now and show your love for your favorite radio station. That's wordradio.com/ILUVWURD.
Don't settle for bumps, ingrowns, and itch due to dry skin. Try Venus for pubic hair and skin, the razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area. Featuring a razor with patent irritation defense bar and skincare regimen that is dermatologist and gynecologist tested. Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Discover the full regimen of products at GilletteVenus.com.
Tune in to Eagle Word Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 10 a.m. for the PA Lottery Eagle Word Fact of the Month. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the
right seat. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Tune in Monday, February 26th at 4 p.m. for an in-depth look at reparations and economic justice on a special edition of Evening Words. What is owed? Reparations movements of the 21st century examines modern-day efforts to seek atonement, repair, and redress. We will speak to public officials, advocates, and activists from around the country to understand this complex issue, just as Philadelphia prepares to launch its own task force. This conversation is the start of a series that will be laser-focused on reparations and economic justice. Join Dr. James Peterson at 4 p.m. on Monday, February 26th to hear What is Owed, only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Long nose, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Brother David Levy Bey, and we've been talking about so much. We've been talking about astrology. We've been talking about cell salts. We've been talking about everything in between, quite honestly. When we left off before commercial break, we were talking about the Scorpio zodiac sign, if I'm correct.
Right. And then we was talking about calcium for a quick second. And
That's right.
Talking about the importance of calcium.
Right,
and the thing
right.
It, like I said, women need 7 times more calcium than men, but men can also become calcium deficient. And usually when men are calcium deficient, they're irritable, they're very easily angered, they're tired a lot. You know what I mean? So they could come in the house stressed out, barking at the moon, and just because of calcium deficiency. So, so going back to what Dr. Carrie Ream said, the number one cause of divorce is calcium deficiency, because people don't understand that being deficient in that mineral makes you act out. So, so knowing that you need that is very important. But Scorpio is calcium sulfate. Sagittarius, real quick, Sagittarius, a fire sign, of course, my sign. Silica, like I said earlier in the show, which helps to strengthen the nervous system, keeps connective tissue healthy, helps with preventing numbness in the fingers and the feet, and it also helps to keep the connective brain tissue healthy. But Sagittarians, like I said, are prone to liver issues, thigh problems, hip problems, as one of the callers, called in and confessed to having issues with the hips. What silica does is it helps to keep the skin from dulling out. It helps to prevent skin sores. It helps to prevent receding gums. Things that you could get food as far as silica is strawberries and figs, peppers, potatoes, apples, things like poultry and fish, beets, tomatoes, plums, cherries, lemons, eggs, yogurt, all good. Brown rice, whole wheat, all good and high in silica. I'm going to go, Sagittarians should stay away from chocolate. Oh, that's a weakness of mine, but Sagittarians should stay away from chocolate, though, because it's not good for us, you know what I mean? It's not good for our skin. And also, stay away from alcoholic beverages, because Sagittarians have weak livers naturally. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn that the hard way, because when I was a young fellow hanging out with the fellas, I would be always the one passing out and throwing up. Why? Because I couldn't handle the liquor. Didn't know it then, know it now. But yeah.
Wow.
So Sagittarians, take care of those livers. All right, so Capricorn. My man was waiting on this.
Here we are, Malcolm.
So Capricorn's an earth sign. Capricorns are real connected to the earth. Capricorns like to take long walks. It helps them to rebalance. My sister that passed in 2019, God rest her soul, She was a Capricorn, also a psychiatrist. Sometimes her husband couldn't understand why she used to like to walk to work, but it helped her balance herself and regenerate her mind so she could deal with all those patients that she had to deal with. So Capricorns need to connect to the earth. It helps to rebalance them. Capricorns are known for strong bones and joints and teeth, but there could also be problems with Capricorns, having weak joints, bone issues, teeth problems. And Capricorn, the cell salt connected with Capricorn is calcium phosphate. So once again, some more calcium needed by the Capricorn sign. Capricorns, when they are deficient in calcium phosphate, they can develop things like rickets or have problems with misshapen bones or curvature of the spine, which they call scoliosis. Capricorns can have a lot of pain in their joints and stuff when they're deficient in calcium phosphate. But things that are high in calcium phosphate, broccoli, dandelion greens, cabbage, things like corn, peas, potatoes, walnuts, almonds, all high in calcium phosphate. Whole wheat, oats, brown rice, high in this particular cell salt. So those things are very good. I hope that that was beneficial to my brother that's a Capricorn out there, and to all you Capricorns out there. You know what I'm saying?
He is commenting. He is. He shares. He shares that he used to do a lot of walking years ago, and he does have bone issues. He shares that he eats broccoli with an exclamation mark. And Michelle White, hello there. Thank you for joining us. She shares. You sure did, cuz you helped a lot of people.
So listen. My thing is that I'm glad that this information is helpful to my people out there. I had to learn this stuff, and I'm so thankful to Dr. Wyatt, and I'm so thankful to having this knowledge. I thank God for this knowledge, and I'm just thankful that I'm here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? To be able to help y'all, because we gotta learn our bodies. It's important. You know what I'm saying? And so, to continue on to get through these last two signs, because we do want to talk a little bit about Black history. Aquarius, the air sign, another air sign. Aquarius, believe it or not, the cell salt connected with Aquarius is sodium chloride, which is common table salt. But I would suggest that Aquarians not take a lot of table salt, but use sea salt. Okay, or get your sodium from things like Himalaya salt, or get your sodium from celery. Okay, because celery is high in natural sodium, and celery, when I talked to you a couple of shows ago, when I talked about when I told on the doctrine of signatures, which is the things that God put here on this planet, the fruits and vegetables that resemble the organs or glands that they were meant to take care of. So if you look at celery, the stalks of the celery, they look like bone joints. You understand what I'm saying? And so celery is high in sodium, and sodium is very necessary for strong bones. So get your sodium chloride from those sources, please. Not too much table salt. Okay. Also, with the area that's ruled by Aquarius is the calves, the ankles, and the shins. You know what I'm saying? So those things are areas of concern with Sagittarians. My mom and my granddaughter, which my granddaughter's born on this same birthday as my mom. My mom's no longer here, God rest her soul. But my granddaughter runs track. She said, "Grandpa, I got problems with my shins." That's a Sagittarian trait. You know what I mean? So I had to teach her, things to do. You know what I mean? To help with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's a Sagittarian trait. And so some of the things that you can eat, as far as food wise, are things like ocean fish, like lobster, tuna, oysters, spinach, radish, celery. I just said celery.
You sure did. You sure did. You absolutely did.
Yeah, cabbage, lettuce, corn, squash, lentils, almonds, walnuts, apples, peaches, pears, lemons, oranges. All those things are good.
You
what
know
I
what?
mean?
It
As
sounds
far
like
as
lentils are good for most of us because I love lentil.
yeah, but some people can't eat them though. You know what I mean? Like obla type don't do good with lentils. You know what I mean? You got to be careful with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. See, me and you are the same blood type. We get away with eating lentils. Some people can't. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say you got to know your body type. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because what works for you might not work for them, and vice versa. You understand what I'm saying? So that's important. So the last sign of the zodiac, of course, is the sign of Pisces, which deals with the feet. So look how we covered the zodiac from head to toe. The Pisces deal with the feet. Okay, so Pisces is a water sign. Of course, Pisces they have problems a lot with a lot of mucus and sinus problems. That's a Piscean trait. You know what I'm saying? And we'll have a tendency to have problems with their feet. But Pisces, the cell salt that's connected with Pisces is ferrium phosphate, which is iron. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I can tell you a quick story about my cousin. I love my cousin. My cousin is my friend to the very end. We have been through thick and thin. But my cousin, back in 2018 was in the hospital. He had a heart attack and he had fluid on his heart. And, I called him up and I had to tell him, and I said, cuz, I said, let me tell you something. I said, you got to think about what's going on with you right now. I said, you got fluid in your body like that. And think about the organs their job is to process fluids. I said, that's the kidneys. Okay. I said, so you got to think that whenever they tell you got congestive heart failure, you got to think about the kidneys. Why is the fluid is not moving through the body like it's supposed to? You know what I'm saying? And so in this process, I had to tell him, I said, you being a Pisces, I said, if you're deficient in iron, meaning you have some type of anemia, okay, you're going to retain water. That's what happens when Pisces are deficient in iron, ferrium phosphate. So my cousin, while he was in the hospital, he had this a phone where he had the doctor's diagnosis on the phone, and he looked it up while he was there, and he said, "Cuz," he said, "you onto something." He said, "Because here it says that they said that I had iron deficiency anemia." I said, "Listen," I said, "that's what's going on, man." I said, so I put him on a natural iron supplement, and he lost over 14 pounds of fluid right off the bat. And then I gave him, the herbs to take to help with his heart and strengthen his heart, right? And my cousin, when he goes sees his cardiologist, they cannot believe the condition of his heart. They thought that his heart would never be in the condition that it is now. And he takes his herbs religiously, has been taking his herbs since 2018. He works out. He has no issues going on with his heart. And he knows and understands the seasons and how his body reacts. So he knows what herbs to take to keep his body functioning properly. And that's my man to the end of time.
Oh my goodness. Family, hey there. Talking to each and every one of you. If you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Brother David Levy Bey. And when I tell you, look, I had my pen and paper right here, taking notes about everything. But I do want to say hello to our family members that have been checking in. I do see you. Shirley Bryant. Hi there, beloved. Hi, beautiful. She shares good evening, family. The beautiful Miss Roslyn. She is sharing love as well. And I did see your message. She's asking for prayers for her health. So I want to make sure, family, that we pray for our family member, Miss Roslyn, for her health. For her health to improve. So we're praying for you. Gary Bryant is checking in, and he's sending love to everybody as well, as is Donna Baker. Hi there, beautiful. Clifton Washington. Oh, hey, Peanut. Hey, Peanut. Thank you for joining us as well. And Ms. Roslyn follows up with a comment mirroring yours. She shares, focus on the solution, not the problem. Yes,
right.
absolutely. Alfred is checking in as well. Family, we've been talking about so much. We're talking about everything tonight, under the umbrellas of both cell salts and astrology. We're talking about we talked about the relationship that both each has to one another. And David shared tonight, he broke down every single zodiac sign in existence. You hear me? He broke it down for us. Thank you so much for doing that, David. What we're going to do in just a minute, we're going to take a commercial break. But you know what, Dave? I have a question for you. So you were talking with us before we go to break. You were sharing with us about cell salts, and you broke it down for each zodiac sign, and you shared about the different foods that each of us could eat to help us with that. Is it possible? Can you just go buy cell salts? Is it well, two questions. One, can you just purchase cell salts? And I read what was it? The term mineral salts. Is that the same thing? Are they the same things?
So you can purchase cell salts. The thing is that what I would recommend is to not do so without the assistance of a healthcare professional who knows what ones you may need. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't want to go out there buying something and say, okay, well, I'm going to take this, because this is connected to my zodiac, or, these are the 3 cell salts that come after my birth. So I know I'm already inherently weak in those cell salts, so I'm going to buy them. No, you need a professional to see which ones you need. You know what I'm saying? You always do it with the advice and suggestion of a healthcare professional. You understand what I'm saying? Because you might make the wrong move and get something that you don't need, and we don't want that. Okay?
You hear that, family? With that, we're going to take a commercial break, and we will be right back.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille iJoy.
Make voting a family affair. Include the children. Help them to care. We register. We vote. We must. I register. I vote. I must. Yes, indeed, everybody. Voting is a family affair. We gather together, no matter the weather. Stand tall now. Don't you waste your vote. Some folks, they might not be woke, but not you, because voting is a family affair. This is Dr. Lucille iJoy. Register. We vote, we must. Come on now. Register. We vote, we must. This is Dr. Lucille iJoy.
Tune in every Saturday at 4 p.m. for the Did You Know Show with host Bryant Green, right here on WURD 96.1 FM and 900 AM.
Stand with Word Radio as we continue to provide dynamic, progressive programming to inform and empower our people. We're living in unprecedented times, and we must stand together to protect and preserve Black Talk Media. Become a 4Word member with the annual membership price of just $90, or a digital member starting at just $5 per month. If you're already a 4Word member, sign up, family member, or friend to help us continue making history. Start or renew your 4Word membership today. Visit wordradio.com/4word or wordradio.com/membership.
It's too black, which means it's too strong.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Welcome back, family. You're tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with Brother David Levy Bey, and we've been talking about so much. So, Dave, we do not have a lot of time left. But I know we were talking about, you mentioned, before the commercial break, Black History Month.
Right.
Do you want to share the video clip? Did you want to?
Yeah, because you know what? It's important to see that because people need to know. And Dr. Claude Anderson, was a person who served on the Jimmy Carter administration. And, he was the Secretary of Commerce. He was in charge of economic development in the South. And, he talked about something years ago that he said was going to come about. And he's spot on. All you got to do is listen to it. You know what I mean? And listen to what he's saying.
All right. Well, we're going to take a look at the clip. Thank you for setting that up for us. And family, here we go.
That blacks will be pretty much a permanent underclass in America by the year 2015. Why the year 2015? 2015 because what I've concluded from analysis is that there's going to be a converging of social factors nationally and internationally that's going to place blacks in a permanent status of underclassship. And we anticipate by that point in time, based on all the research that's coming to us, that the next generation of whites is going to be more anti-black than they've been since the civil rights movement. 2, we anticipate by the same token about 86 million Hispanics coming into the United States and about 41 million Asians by that point in time, which is going to kick black folk out of being the minority in the society down to a minority. We've been number 2 in the society for 400 years as a group. We're going to become number 4. And if we have not gotten anything after being number 2 for 400 years, you guess what's going to happen when we become number 4. Because at that point in time, all the new groups coming into America, they're coming in higher than we are because this country operates off of a preferential acceptance program, which means that groups are coming in based on skin color. They're going from the lightest down to the darkest. Light, yellow, brown, black. And that's what our immigration laws are based on. And black folk will not be able to penetrate through those groups to get to the white society when that happens because those groups owe us nothing. They don't understand our problems and they are competitive with us, and we don't begin to be a little more aggressive about being in a competitive posture. They're going to eat our lunches.
Can you tell us, Dave, why it was important with you to share that clip with us?
Because it's exactly what we're seeing going on today. Look at what's going on. Look at what's going on with gentrification. Look at what's going on with these immigrants coming into our communities, doing successfully well while we're still struggling and we haven't figured out the reason why. And that's because we don't really know our history. We don't know that the fact that the deck has been stacked against us. Some of the things that Martin Luther King used to talk about, because going back to revisionist history, we sit up there and we talk about Martin Luther King and glorify the I Have a Dream speech when the man himself said he regretted it. He said he regretted doing that speech. He said because what he learned was the fact that the bus boycott, the sit-ins in the restaurants, all that he was doing for the civil rights movement to be, to fight for desegregation did not benefit us as a people. It actually benefited white people. You know what I'm saying? And
so basically we were so busy asking for inclusivity and equality that we got away from our own identity and
right.
Okay.
Right. And Martin, quoting from James Baldwin, said that, it was like, do what he did led our people into a burning building. You understand what I'm saying? Because he started realizing that it did not benefit us economically, that we were still suffering economically. So this is the revisionist history that we need to know, and talk about. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is you ain't going to learn it in the school system because they're not going to teach you your history in the school system. You know what I'm saying? They're not. Us as parents got to take control and teach our children ourselves. We got to take the responsibility of teaching our children ourselves. How are we going to come up economically if we don't know our past? We got to know our past. Shout out to the ancestor, Brother Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying, who on this date was assassinated on February 21st, 1965. And I can remember it like it was yesterday as a little kid standing in front of television looking at the coverage of the news coverage of the assassination show in the Audubon Ballroom. I can still remember it vividly in my mind. You know what I'm saying? So, but Malcolm was about economics. He knew what our situation and condition was. And the thing is that a lot of people don't know that King later agreed, even though they were adversaries in the beginning, because they had two different philosophies of thoughts. But then King later came into agreement with Malcolm and also sat in with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And a lot of people don't know that, but I can prove it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, those things are very necessary. You know what I mean? To know our history. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, no, you're absolutely right. It's so necessary to know our history. And as you shared, you know, our history is there's an attempt to erase our history from our babies. But also when we talk about everything that you shared with us tonight, that's a part of our history. That's something that that's knowledge our ancestors had, that they knew and that they practiced as well. And quite honestly, like I said, I didn't know anything about cell salts until you mentioned it to me in the conversation that we had. So here we begin. As long as there are like-minded individuals like ourselves, about like everybody here, our family members who want to continue our our education, who want to continue to educate our babies and make sure our babies know. I do want to share, Malcolm shares, yes, and the enemy wants to erase our past. Alfred shares, paraphrasing, we may have been led into a burning hell. It's really, family. Gary Bryant shares, Dr. Claude Anderson was 150% on point without a single doubt. When will we sincerely wake up?
Absolutely.
And Michelle shares, yes, they're trying to erase our history and we need to stick together. We absolutely do. We absolutely do. Alfred, yes, we need to educate our children. We absolutely do. And Gary also follows his comment by sharing that, yes, the 3 M's, Martin, Malcolm, and Medgar, they all lost their lives speaking the truth. You know, so when we look at our history, it's so important that we share our history with our babies, that they know, that they know. And like you said, you've got proof. You've got proof of, there is proof that exists. Before we go, because David, I know you're coming back and you're going to share more knowledge with us. I listen. I'm hopeful that you will come back and talk with us about the blood types next time and what's good and bad for the different blood types, or beneficial, I should say, beneficial and harmful to the different blood types. But before we go tonight, would you please share once again your contact information for any of our family members who may be interested in contacting you?
So you can reach me at 856-209-4379. Okay, that's 856-209-4379, or at dlevy, Leavy, 83@gmail.com. And those are the 2 avenues in which you can reach me. But before we go, Carol, can I just share something real quick with the family? I just want to name my top 10 books for you to get and have your kids read, or you read them yourself.
Oh, hurry, because we've got a minute and a half left.
Okay, number 1, Amazing Facts About the Negro with Complete Proof by J.A. Rogers. The 5 Negro Presidents by J.A. Rogers. The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson, who also is the founder of Black History Month. Civilization or Barbarianism by Chinika Anita Diop. Okay. The African Origins of Civilization, The Myth or Reality. Okay. Also by him. The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. African Mother of Western Civilization by Yosef Ben Jahakin, better known as Dr. Ben. We the Black Jews, Witnesses to the White Jewish Race Myth, Volume 1 and 2, Yosef Ben Jahakin. Cultural Genocide in the Black and African Studies Curriculum by Dr. Ben Jahakin. And They Came Before Columbus by Ivan Van Sertima. We was already here when Columbus came. We were already on these shores. The Mexicans known us as the Olmecs, the original Mexicans. We built the pyramids over here too. Okay?
Family. We've been talking tonight with Brother David Levy Bey, and we have had a conversation. Do you hear me? Yes, we have. I just want to share with you, praise God from whom all blessings flow. Just thank you, Brother Dave, for coming. And listen.
You're welcome.
I know you're coming back, so I'm going to say thank you for tonight, and we can't wait to see you next time to learn some more from what you will bring to share with us. So thank you, family. To those of you who are celebrating a birthday, happy birthday once again to our beloved Rosalind. I love you, and we are praying for your health to get better. To the entire Word family, thank you, especially Niall and Nick for all that you do. Family, remember we're all in this together, so be good to you, but be good to those around you. Yes, absolutely. Just know that God loves you, but I love you as well. Just know that. Have a great rest of your night and a great weekend. And be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Yes. Have a good night, family. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
The WURD Hot 60.
Hot 60.
Here's the hottest 60 seconds.